Well, I didn't catch the end of yesterday's video, so we'll tag the end of today's video into the end of yesterday's and call it one video. Nick was here this morning, and you got the transmission put on. By the time I come back up here, you guys were gone, and nothing unusual.
No, right together.
Clutch in there.
It was a little bit difficult, as that's like first or second hydraulic clutch I've done, and the throwout bearing sticks way out. So when I got the transmission lined up, got the splines all in there, it didn't want to go together because the clutch was still, the throwout bearing was still pushed out. So I had to get longer bolts in there to try to start easing it up till the actual bolts that fit in there, and yeah, it went right together.
And then the hydraulic part we talked about earlier in this video, which was yesterday, did not require a bolt.
No,
it just floated in there.
Yeah. Well, actually, it actually pushes up against the flex plate, so there's nowhere for it to go, is what they explained to me at the tech center. That's it. That's where it goes. It's not moving. It's there. It's going to do its job. So.
Well, we're going to find out soon.
Yeah.
So it's in the car. He was here.
Yep.
This morning we did our thing. Of course, we went and ate lunch over at Herschel's. And so you got kind of a sort of a incomplete putting the transmission together.
Oh.
So there it is.
Yeah.
And Eddie is over here, so we'll throw you on the end of this one. And then I might cut out the end of this one and put it onto the beginning of another one. It'll be talking about, because I'm cutting the grill shell on the Eredacator. Oh, that looks way, way better. So if you've looked at this before, it didn't have any of this here, So he's finishing up the trunk. And we basically got it all like a wrinkle paint bed liner, kind of a undercoating rubberized stuff. But that looks good in there. And we've got as much gas tank as we want to get in there, and everything's still working. And you made a battery box cover, and battery box.
Yeah, so you can put the Velcro in there.
Today. And we had people asking about, how does he do that?
Oh.
So this is just panel boards.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yeah, so it's been fiberglass together using a cloth mat. Not mat, not woven, but like a cloth, fiberglass cloth. And it just holds it together, and it's pretty sturdy.
Yeah, it's sturdy. So you want to try to sit on it, but
and it's Velcroed. You can kind of see you got some Velcro there.
Yeah, and put some here.
Velcro there. We're gonna paint that black.
Yeah. And anyway,
stick
there
it
is.
There.
Yeah.
It doesn't come off. Next is, what's next?
Well, I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to put a little panel right down here just to cover up where it bolts on, and that's about it under here. Yeah. Took me forever and a day to get the tape off of these.
So as soon as the tail lights get here, we can get them wired up.
Yeah, so I'm making this where it just Velcro's in there where you pull it up to get to the wires and all that.
That'll work.
Just spiff it up a little. Yeah, I got the wires running for the tail lights.
Did we have...
They're right here.
No, there we go.
Yeah.
Did we have the wrong plug, or not the right plug, or the right computer, or is this car, or what am I?
Well, I'm not sure yet. I've been studying on it. And, I've got all these outlets here.
Okay.
But anyway, found what goes to the coil and what goes to. There's that. We got the bung and everything.
Put that into the into the exhaust.
EGR valve, yeah. But anyway, we got more plug-ins and we got plug-e's.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have to study on it some more.
Do we have instructions?
Yeah, we got instructions around here. Okay.
But, more stuff to plug into.
Yeah. So there's solenoid and relays and a bunch of stuff. And there's a little box for where you program it. I just hadn't
got back
Sure,
in.
there's a computer box somewhere.
Yeah, it's landing here.
Oh, you got it in there already?
In here, yeah. Ain't quite sure where to put it. I think I can put it over.
Oh, there we go. That's a fancy looking one.
Yeah. I figured out where it plugs in, but I wasn't going to do it yet because where it plugs into this, it ain't long enough to go inside the firewall.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I might have to put it out here. Now, I might have enough length. Like I said, I want to figure out the rest of the wiring first.
So that sounds like a tomorrow project.
Yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah, that's it there. See, it comes all the way from. Oh, no, wait a minute, that's not it. But anyhow, I had it in the right plug at one time, and it just wasn't quite.
This ain't it. It's got to be it.
Yeah, I guess it is. But there was another one I couldn't run in there, and I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, we got plenty of room for that. But,
I wonder if some of this is diagnostic stuff.
yeah, yeah, it is. I just gotta have some moments alone and figure it out.
It's a quiet time.
Quiet time.
That was Eddie's nice way of saying, leave me alone.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me.
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm cutting on a grill shell. We have a kind of a new plan.
Oh, is what we was talking about there?
Yep, I like it, so I'm gonna do it one way or another because it'll be marketable. A lot of people will run a 34 without a hood and fenders.
Yeah.
So we'll cover up that grill and come out around. So
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of cutting.
And make it look kind of contoured, you know. See, a lot of people, they just stick the shell out there in front.
Yeah, that don't work.
Yeah.
So actually what I'm really over here for is looking for a Sharpie. I borrow your Sharpie?
There you go.
Eddie's always good for a Sharpie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at not giving it back.
I get
but-
home and sometimes I got 2 or 3 of them stuck on my collar.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go Sharpie away.
Say, bye, Sharpie.
Bye.
It's gone.
All right, with Sharpie in hand, what we did is, quite a long time ago, I took a 34 grill and I blended it to a 23 grill and put these little, kind of like flaps on the bottom, so it goes along the bottom of the 23 frame. Looks like it all belongs on there, works good. I set this grill shell up on the 34, on a 34 grill, a radiator, I mean, and it actually looks like it'll work pretty good. So we keep little flat sheets of fiberglass lying around. So what I'm gonna do, go ahead, keep that line across the bottom flat. I'm gonna go ahead and mark the back side of this with Eddie's Sharpie, and then cut it, fit it in there, glass it on, and then trim this down along here, and then recreate what would be a flange like this on the bottom side of it, only a flange that's going to fit the arch of the frame rate on a 34. So that's my plan. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so I marked the back side, cut it. It pretty much fits in the hole here. I think what I'm going to do now, to hold it in place, I'll take the edge of what I cut off, I'll cut a strip about that wide, and that way I can screw it through the front into the back side, hold it in place. I'll get it all sanded first, and then I'll put some strips of fiberglass in there, and after it dries, then I can pull the screws out and then glass the entire thing one more time. So I went ahead and cut my strip out. I'll screw the strip in behind here, and then I can screw it there, and then I can screw that piece onto the strip. So let me get those pieces on, and you can kind of see where I'm going to start. All right, so at least I have the shape there. It's basically stuck together. I think we're going to take it over to the car now and see what it looks like, get a better idea. I'm probably going to have to cut this up into here somewhere, I don't know where, but we'll figure that out when we get over there. All right, so I've got it set up there. You can kind of see I'm not totally leveled up with the body, but it's not too bad. I think what I'm going to do is I marked it down there to cut where it's level with the frame. I'll come across maybe here, somewhere in here. Anyway, come across that. And maybe get my line somewhere up in here. Pull that around. Put some wings on it so it looks like it kind of attaches to the frame. It's got to come over a little bit here. You can see when it's centered up, this side don't have anything on it, but if you're looking straight down on it, I've got about that much room between it. So I really want to fill that up, I think, and make it look like it's all one piece there. And I don't see that gap between the frame and the grill shell. So maybe we'll work on that next. So there's the piece that I cut off. Now it doesn't match the line, it was for a 23, but I think if I trim all this up coming across, I can make that work. If I look at it across the front, I mean, that'll work, except the question is, do I really want that to be red and then the frame on top of the frame, or do I want to put it on and then cut it off right here and have that tucked down below the frame just a little bit? And I could make a mounting bracket on it too, probably then. And then the frame will be black. It won't look like it has red on top of the frame. The grill shell will be red and it will tuck down into there. So I think that's what I like better. So we'll Frankenstein this side of the grill together, see what we get. And then once it's all glassed together, it'll give me a little bit more to work with. If I like the design, what I'll do is I'll pull a mold off of it, because, and I do like the design. It's, you know, even though it's on there crooked right now, that definitely is going to be a much better look for a grill shell on a 34 than where a normal grill shell, that's the 34 grill shell, would just come down along this line right about there and come out and then come up around here and then have this notch around where the hood goes and then there. So that's not exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so a little tape, a couple cardboard boxes. I can probably straighten that up a little bit better than what I've got. But I trimmed up my wing just a little bit here. I've got the grill shell sitting pretty parallel to the firewall. You kind of see that. I'll need to lift the bottom up a little bit more, but I can do that. Kind of look at my swoop here. I think if I do that and I tuck it inside the frame rail, that's going to give me what I like. We'll keep a clean black frame rail all the way down, and then the grill shell will be red. It's leaning a little bit, but you got to start somewhere, so we're mocking it up, and I believe I'm going to like that pretty good. So that's going to work. So I went ahead and cut it, and trimmed it, got it kind of fitting, taped it in place. You can see the back here. I just got the screws in that holding it. Once I get the front, I'll grind these down, get a good grind. Probably put some polybond in the uneven area, put some glass strips in here in these areas, glass that on. Once that's hard enough, tomorrow I can pull the screws out, take this panel off the back, and then I can grind the whole back, glass the entire back of it, get it structurally right, and then come around the front and start maybe throw some glass on it, maybe not, depending on how I get it structured. I don't want cracks to come into it. The way I'm building it, a lot of times if you can build it out of anything. You can build it out of foam, plaster, wood, whatever you get, whatever it takes to get the shape. But in this case, I've got some quality fiberglass that's in there. When I glass over the top of it, this will make a quality part. So I won't need to make a mold after this and then pull a part out of the mold. So this, technically, this plug can be the part. But if I like it, I will make a mold off of it because it is a marketable part, I believe. So a lot of times we won't do a part unless I believe it potentially has some marketability. Just because of the sake of time, it does take a little bit of time to do something like this. And if it's just a one-off, I mean, it's pretty expensive as just a one-off, but if I can justify some of the cost in like a long-term mold that's going to build multiple parts, we can go ahead and do that. So anyway, I think this is a part that's going to be good, and now I need to add a little bit of fiberglass to it. Okay, so this is not an exact science, but I do want to have this level going out there. Got on a working space. I really can't bend this down until I get this more structurally sound. Then I can just clamp that and swing it around a little bit. Yeah, you can do all this in a CAD drawing. You can do 3D printers, and the technology in today's world is amazing. But here I am. I'm not sure how long I've been working on it, but not that long. Hour, a couple hours, maybe. Probably not even an hour, to get it roughed in. I mean, if you can see the shape, just create the shape. Yeah, now I'm going to have to match that shape to the other side, but it's not going to be 100% exact like it would be if it was CAD drawn and total opposite, but I can get it close enough. I am very confident that nobody will notice whatever slight difference there would be. And then a lot of design is, where do you hide those areas that may be able to be, I don't want a gap between the frame and this wing to be a half inch on this side and a quarter inch on the other side. You'll see that. I mean, I need to keep them the same. So what you'll see, I'm just using this for example. I'm not going to say it's going to be like that, but if this whole grill is a little bit closer to the frame on the left side than it is on the right side, the key is the gap of where you're going to see it, because you'll see that between the black and the red way more than you'll see maybe a 16th difference between the width of this, both sides being painted red. It's just a quick example that I could think of, but life is about compromises, and sometimes when you do stuff like this, you gotta look at compromise, balance. It's got to all be the same, but like on a windshield or a back glass. I mean, the arc right here, of course, I want that to be the same arc as right here, which I can do that by, making the arc halfway, folding the paper over and doing it, or however you can do it. But again, these are not CNC built. These are just somebody creating it, old-fashioned bodywork style. So get a little glass on this, and then finish up by doing the most important thing. All right, so I've got some mat here. I put some Polybond underneath of the mat, and what that's for mainly is to fill the gaps, the air gaps, and to make it a little more even. So I put the fiberglass on top of it, and I've mixed up a little bit of resin here. So what I'm going to do is just take the resin and just dab it. Just dab it until you get all the air out. I'm going to have to grind this on the top anyway. This is mainly so I can get the structure, and I can give it a good coat of glass on the back, one piece. Make sure you don't be putting resin inside the screws, otherwise you have a tough time getting them out. When you can get them out like that. I didn't even pay attention to that. So I'll have to kind of twist and grind that out of there. I didn't even see that one when I put the glass on it. So that's what not to do. We always like to know what not to do. So I'm going to dab all the spots, get them really good. No air, air is the enemy. And then tomorrow this will be dry. I can go ahead and pull the screws out, grind the top of it. I'll probably get this clamped around a little bit and pull that backing off of here, and then go ahead and glass the entire back. Take a look at it, see what I got, and kind of trim it up to the way I want, make sure it's what I want, and then I'll go ahead and do the other side. All right, so I kind of dabbed everything. I kind of sort of got it hanging together. Since I caught my little mistake here, I cleaned that out with a little acetone and put a Phillips in there to make sure the head is clean. That'll make it a lot easier to take out tomorrow. So it doesn't look pretty now, but it will when it's all done. And now for the most important part. Give Eddie his Sharpie back. The boys around here know if I'm doing a project and I'm gonna need a Sharpie, they can kind of expect me to come by and, can I borrow a Sharpie? So I'll make sure, or at least try to make sure I give it back to them. So till tomorrow, here we are at Spirit Cars, building dreams.